If you're looking for mobile games that feel like full-scale console experiences, you're in the right place. In this video, I'm counting down the top 20 mobile AAA games you must play in 2026. The kind of releases with big worlds, cinematic visuals, deep gameplay, and real progression you can actually sink time into. Some are brand new, some are evolving hits that still dominate, but every game on this list is here because it delivers that premium, this shouldn't be on a phone feeling. Stick around because the top spots are absolute monsters and you'll definitely find your next addiction here. Where Winds Meet is the kind of mobile release that feels console scale the moment you see it. Not because someone labels it AAA, but because of what it's trying to pull off. A huge wuxia-inspired open world, cinematic presentation, and a combat system built around speed, style, and skill instead of autoplay. You're not just tapping through fights, you're chaining dodges, counters, and weapon techniques that look straight out of a high-budget action game. The world design is another reason it feels like a big production. Wide landscapes, dense towns, dramatic weather, and that classic martial arts vibe where every rooftop and mountain path looks like it belongs in a film. It's also aiming for freedom in how you approach the game, whether you want to explore, hunt for upgrades, take on tougher encounters, or simply get lost in the scenery. And on top of all that, the storytelling is built to feel epic, with serious characters, sharp cutscenes, and a tone that's more legend in the making than casual mobile grinding. If you want one mobile game in 2026 that screams ambition and scale, Where Winds Meet should absolutely be on your list. Warframe Mobile isn't trying to be a mobile version of something big, it's trying to bring the full sci-fi power fantasy onto your phone without losing what makes it special. The reason it feels like a major release is scale. Fast, fluid missions, dense enemy waves, and that signature movement where you're sliding, wall running, and flying through corridors like a ninja in a jet engine. Combat is the other big giveaway. You're not just shooting, you're mixing abilities, melee and gadgets, switching playstyles on the fly, and turning every room into controlled chaos when your build starts clicking. And that build depth is huge. Warframes, mods, weapons, upgrades, crafting, it's the kind of long-term system you usually see in fully supported, years-running games, because it is one. Visually, it leans into that stylish, techno-organic look with flashy effects and satisfying hit feedback, so even quick sessions feel cinematic. The best part is how it respects your time. You can jump in for a short mission, or fall into that one more run loop chasing a new blueprint or a stronger setup. If you want a mobile game in 2026 that actually feels like a living, evolving universe, Warframe Mobile deserves a spot near the top. Spirit Crossing looks like one of those rare mobile releases that feels warm and premium at the same time, not because it's loud, but because everything is built around atmosphere and detail. The world has that cozy, handcrafted vibe where the colors, lighting, and animations make every scene feel alive, like you're stepping into a playable animated film. What makes it feel like a big production is how it blends exploration, community, and creative freedom. You're not just completing tasks, you're building a home, shaping your space, and slowly turning a quiet place into something personal. The social side also matters, because it's designed to feel shared, like a gentle online world where you can meet up, help out, and just exist without pressure. The gameplay loop is all about comfort, roaming, collecting, crafting, decorating, and discovering little surprises that make you want to keep going. If you're looking for a must-play mobile game in 2026 that's more about vibe than stress, Spirit Crossing is the kind of game you'll open for 5 minutes, and suddenly it's been an hour. NBA 2K26 My Team on mobile is the kind of mode that instantly feels like a main event release, because it isn't just play a match and leave. It's a full collecting and competition ecosystem built around building your dream roster, upgrading it, and proving it against real players. What makes it feel big is the amount of layers, card tiers, challenges, events, rewards tracks, and limited time drops that keep the mode moving week to week, like a live service game designed to stay relevant all year. On the court, it's not just about having good cards, it's about timing and decision-making, reading defenses, using screens, calling plays, and hitting shots under pressure. When the controls feel responsive, that moment where you create space and green a jumper is addictive, especially on the go. The presentation also sells it, with that broadcast-style feel, smooth animations, and the big game. Energy that makes even quick games feel intense. And my team is perfect for mobile because it fits any session length. You can jump in for a short challenge, grind for upgrades, or lock in for longer competitive runs when you're feeling confident. If you want a must-play sports experience in 2026 that's packed with progression, strategy, and replay value, NBA 2K26 My Team is built to keep you coming back. Gran Velocita driving is the kind of mobile racer that feels ambitious because it doesn't treat driving like a simple tap-and-win arcade loop. It aims for that satisfying mix of speed, control, and realism where every turn matters, every breakpoint matters, and a clean racing line actually rewards you. The sense of scale comes from how it presents the whole experience. Detailed cars, sharp lighting, reflections on the bodywork, and tracks that look built for high-speed drama, not just short mobile laps. What really sells it is progression. You're not only racing, you're improving, tweaking performance, unlocking faster rides, and learning how different cars behave so you can push them harder without losing control. The races feel tense because it's easy to make tiny mistakes that cost you positions. So when you pull off a perfect overtake or nail a corner at full speed, it hits like a highlight moment. And because it's mobile, it works in quick bursts too. 1 or 2 races can still feel meaningful, especially when you're chasing upgrades or trying to beat your own best times. If you want a 2026 must-play driving game that focuses on the thrill of actually driving, not just collecting cars, Gran Velocita driving should be on your list. Taz Drive Rally is the kind of racing game that feels special on mobile because it understands one simple thing. Rally isn't about top speed, it's about control under chaos. The reason it feels like a big must-play release is how it captures that classic rally vibe with a modern polish. You've got that retro-inspired style, bold visuals, and tight camera work that makes every stage feel like a highlight reel. But underneath it, the driving has real weight. You're constantly adjusting, sliding, correcting, and committing to corners where one mistake sends you into the dirt. The stages are built to keep you locked in. Narrow roads, changing surfaces, sudden turns, and enough variety that you can't just memorize one easy pattern and coast. And the progression loop is perfect for mobile. Quick runs, upgrade your car, unlock new rides, and chase cleaner times as you get better. It also nails that just one more try feeling because every run teaches you something. Brake earlier here, cut tighter there, don't oversteer on exit. If you want a 2026 mobile racing game that actually delivers adrenaline and skill, not just straight-line speed, Hashtag Drive Rally is absolutely worth your time. Dragon Ball GEKISHIN SQUADRA is built for people who want fast matches that still feel tactical, because it's not just about throwing attacks, it's about team timing, roles, and momentum. What makes it feel like a big must-play in 2026 is the pace. Fights are quick, movement is snappy, and every second matters, so you're always choosing between chasing a knockout, securing an objective, or rotating to save a teammate. The best moments come from coordination. When your squad syncs abilities, chains pressure, and turns one pick into a full push, it feels like a real competitive game, not a simple brawler. And even if you play solo, the match flow stays exciting because you're constantly reading the map, tracking cooldowns, and looking for openings instead of mindlessly trading hits. Progression is another hook. Unlocking new characters, experimenting with different team comps, and finding the playstyle that fits you keeps the game fresh, because one setup might be aggressive and bursty, while another is all about control and support. Add the flashy effects and that instantly recognizable energy in every clash, and you get a mobile game that's perfect for short sessions, but hard to put down once you start winning. Maneater on mobile is pure power fantasy, but with a twist you don't see every day. You're not the hunter, you're the ocean's problem. What makes it feel like a big must-play experience is how it turns an open-world setup into something instantly fun and chaotic. You start small, vulnerable, and then you grow, upgrade, and evolve into a full-on apex predator that can tear through boats, wildlife, and anything that wanders into your territory. The progression is the hook. You're constantly unlocking new mutations, boosting speed, armor, and damage, and turning your shark into a custom-built monster that fits your style. whether you want to be fast and aggressive or tanky and unstoppable. The world design also sells the scale. Different regions feel like their own playgrounds, with secrets to find, challenges to clear, and that constant tension of what's going to attack me next, while you're trying to dominate the area. And the combat is surprisingly satisfying, because it's all momentum, bite timing, launching targets, and creating absolute mayhem in seconds. It's the kind of game where you finish one objective and instantly spot 3 more things you want to destroy. If you want a 2026 mobile game that feels bold, different, and ridiculously entertaining, Maneater is a perfect pick for your list. Diablo Immortal is the kind of mobile game that feels huge the second you step into its world. Because it's not a quick level or 2 experience, it's a full action RPG built for long-term progression. What makes it a must-play in 2026 is how polished the core loop is. You dive into dungeons, explode packs of enemies, watch loot rain down, and instantly feel stronger with every upgrade. The combat is fast and satisfying, especially when your build starts coming together and your skills chain into that perfect rhythm of movement, crowd control, and burst damage. It also delivers on scale. Big zones, story-driven quests, world events, raids, and constant activities mean there's always something to chase, whether you're playing for 10 minutes or grinding for hours. The class variety is another reason it stays fresh. Each class has a different flow, different skill combos, and different power moments, so switching characters can feel like learning a new game while still staying in the same universe. And the social side matters too. Clans, group dungeons, PvP, and co-op challenges make it feel like a living world instead of a solo mobile grind. If your top 20 must-play list needs one game that delivers non-stop action, progression, and that classic loot addiction on mobile, Diablo Immortal earns its spot. Rainbow Six Mobile is the kind of shooter that feels big because it's not about running and gunning, it's about thinking faster than the other team. Every round is a mini chess match. You're clearing rooms, holding angles, setting traps, and using gadgets to control space, so one smart play can win the whole fight. What makes it a must-play in 2026 is the tension. The matches feel intense because information matters, sound matters, and teamwork matters, even in quick sessions. Attackers have to breach, drone, and pick the right entry, while defenders build a setup that punishes mistakes. And when it clicks, it's insanely satisfying. That perfect breach, a clean crossfire, or a clutch 1v2 where you outplay people instead of out-aiming them. It also feels premium in presentation, with recognizable operators, tactical tools, and that tight, high-stakes pacing that separates it from typical mobile shooters. If you want one mobile FPS that rewards strategy and calm decision-making, Rainbow Six Mobile deserves a spot on your 2026 list. Way of the Hunter Wild Europa is the kind of mobile hunting game that feels premium because it's built around patience and realism, not flashy arcade shooting. The biggest reason it stands out is the atmosphere. You're moving through wide European-style wilderness, reading the terrain, watching the wind, listening for distant calls, and spotting movement through trees like you're actually there. Every hunt becomes a small story because you're tracking signs, choosing a route, staying low, and deciding when to slow down instead of rushing the shot. What makes it feel like a bigger production is the detail in how animals behave and how the world responds. You're not just aiming at targets, you're learning patterns, choosing ethical shots, and dealing with the tension of one mistake and it's gone. And the pacing is perfect for mobile, because you can jump in for a short scouting run, set up a clean approach, then take a single shot that feels earned. It also has that satisfying progression loop, better gear, improved skills, and new areas that keep you exploring without turning it into mindless grinding. If your top 20 list needs a calmer but still intense experience, Way of the Hunter Wild Europa delivers that slow burn thrill that only a great hunting game can. Wuthering Waves is one of those mobile games that hooks you the moment combat starts because it feels fast, precise, and built for players who actually want control. The big reason it stands out is the action system. Dodges are snappy, counters feel rewarding, and your combos have this rhythm where you're constantly switching, weaving skills, and keeping pressure without turning it into button spam. Then there's the world. It's not just pretty backgrounds, it's a full open environment with a moody sci-fi tone, vertical exploration, hidden fights, and that what's over that hill energy that keeps you moving. The sound and animations add a lot too. Every hit has weight, every ultimate looks like a moment, and the overall presentation feels cinematic even in short sessions. What really keeps you coming back is progression. You're building a team, tuning your characters, and chasing the perfect setup where your rotations feel smooth and your damage spikes at the right time. And it doesn't force you into one playstyle. You can go aggressive and mobile, or play more calculated with spacing and timing. If your top 20 must-play list needs a mobile game that feels like a high-speed action RPG you can genuinely master, Wuthering Waves absolutely earns that spot. Cat Quest III is the kind of mobile action RPG that feels instantly lovable, but it's also way more polished than its cute art style first suggests. The big reason it belongs on a must-play list is how smooth and satisfying it is to actually play. Combat is quick, clean, and responsive, so every slash, dodge, and spell feels snappy, and fights stay fun instead of turning into a grind. This time the adventure leans hard into a pirate vibe, so you're sailing between islands, discovering new areas, and chasing treasure like it's a lighthearted open-world journey made for short sessions. But the world still feels packed with things to do. Side quests, hidden caves, secrets, and silly surprises are everywhere, and the humor is part of the charm, because it keeps the pace upbeat without feeling childish. The progression loop is another reason it works so well. New gear, upgrades, and abilities come fast enough that you always feel stronger, and you can mix your setup to match how you like to play. And even when it gets more challenging, it stays fair, because skill and timing matter. If you want a 2026 mobile game that's fun, polished, and genuinely hard to put down, Cat Quest III is a perfect pick. Assassin's Creed Mirage Mobile brings that classic stealth fantasy to your phone in a way that feels genuinely big budget, because the core focus is quality, not chaos. This is a game built around being clever, not being loud. You're stalking rooftops, blending into crowds, slipping through guarded streets, and picking the perfect moment to strike. The kind of pacing that makes every mission feel like a plan you're executing, not just a fight you're surviving. The reason it stands out is the level of cinematic presentation you expect from a major franchise. Detailed environments, strong lighting, smooth animations, and that you're in a real city feeling where alleyways, markets, and landmarks all pull you forward. The mission structure is also a big deal. Instead of endless filler, it leans into targeted objectives, infiltration routes, and clean escapes, so you feel like an assassin again, not a warrior. And the tools matter. Smoke, distractions, parkour lines, and stealth takedowns all combine into that satisfying loop where skill and timing win the day. If your top 20 list needs a mobile game that feels premium, focused, and cinematic, Assassin's Creed Mirage Mobile is an easy must-play. Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light is the kind of mobile game that feels premium because it's built like a real adventure, not a time waster. It mixes fast action with clever puzzle solving, so you're not just shooting, you're thinking, moving, and using the environment to survive. The levels are packed with traps, secrets, and satisfying challenges, and that top-down view makes everything feel smooth and readable on a phone while still looking cinematic. The combat stays punchy with tight controls, fun weapons, and chaotic enemy swarms that keep you on your toes. What really makes it stand out is the co-op energy. Even if you play solo, the game is designed around teamwork-style puzzles and smart positioning, which makes every encounter feel like a mini set piece. If you want a must-play mobile title in 2026 that delivers classic Lara Croft adventure vibes with real gameplay depth, Guardian of Light is a great pick. Call of Duty Mobile is still one of the biggest must-play mobile games in 2026 because it delivers that full multiplayer shooter package with almost no compromises. The first reason it feels like a major production is variety. You're not locked into one mode or one pace. One moment you're sprinting through tight maps and fast respawn action, the next you're playing slower and smarter, holding lanes, timing flanks, and turning a match with one clean streak. The gunplay is the real hook. Weapons feel sharp, recoil patterns are learnable, and the hit feedback is satisfying, so improving your aim and movement actually pays off. Then there's customization. Loadouts, attachments, perks, operators, score streaks. You can fine-tune your style until the game feels built around how you like to play, whether that's aggressive rushing, steady mid-range control, or long-range picks. It also nails the quick session factor. You can jump in for a few matches, make progress, unlock something, and leave without feeling behind. And if you want the bigger, longer experience, it's there too, with ranked play, seasonal events, and constant updates that keep the community active. If your top 20 list needs one shooter that's reliable, competitive, and endlessly replayable on mobile, Call of Duty Mobile still earns its spot. Red Dead Redemption Mobile is the kind of game you put on a must-play list because it's not just a Western skin on an open world, it's a full cinematic journey you can carry in your pocket. You're stepping into the boots of John Marston, riding across dusty towns, wild plains, and dangerous backroads where every random encounter can turn into a story. The reason it feels like a big experience is the pacing and detail. You're not rushing through levels. You're living in a world, hunting bounties, helping strangers, getting pulled into trouble, and watching a serious story unfold with real stakes. The combat is iconic too. When things go bad, you've got that tense gunfight rhythm, taking cover, lining up shots, and using Deadeye to turn a messy situation into a clean, stylish takedown. And it's not only action. The quiet moments matter, riding at sunset, hearing the world around you, feeling that lonely frontier atmosphere. If you want a mobile game in 2026 that feels like a full, legendary single-player adventure, Red Dead Redemption Mobile is exactly the kind of title that can steal your time in the best way. Destiny Rising is shaping up to be a mobile shooter that feels big because it's built around that full sci-fi fantasy, not just quick matches. The moment-to-moment gameplay is all about movement, abilities, and clean gunplay, where you're not only aiming, you're managing skills, positioning, and timing your pushes like a real action RPG in first person. What makes it stand out is the scale it's aiming for. Missions that feel cinematic, strong enemy variety, flashy powers, and that team of heroes energy where every character kit changes how you approach a fight. Instead of one plain loadout, you're building a playstyle, choosing what you bring into battle, and getting that satisfying loop of finishing a run, upgrading, then jumping back in stronger. The world vibe matters too. Futuristic locations, dramatic skyboxes, and a heavier sci-fi tone help it feel like an actual universe, not just a set of arenas. And because it's mobile, it's designed to fit both quick sessions and longer grinds. So you can drop in, complete a mission, grab rewards, and dip, or stay in and chase the next upgrade. If you want a 2026 mobile game that delivers shooter action with real progression and big universe vibes, Destiny Rising deserves a spot on your list. Arknights. Endfield feels like a major mobile release because it's not built around quick taps, it's built around systems, scale, and strategy that actually demands your attention. The first thing you notice is the world and presentation. It has that high-end sci-fi atmosphere, detailed environments, sharp effects, and tone that feels serious and cinematic, like you're stepping into a full PC-style RPG. But the real reason it stands out is the gameplay mix. You're managing real-time combat while thinking ahead like a strategist, positioning your team, timing skills, and controlling space instead of just mashing damage. Then there's the base and production side. Building, upgrading, managing resources, and optimizing your setup adds a deeper loop that makes progress feel earned, like you're running an operation, not just clearing stages. The characters and team building are another huge hook. Different kits change how fights flow, so experimenting with combos and roles becomes part of the fun. And when you finally find a team that clicks, every battle feels smoother and stronger. And because it's designed for long-term play, there's always another upgrade, another system to master, another challenge to push. If your top 20 mobile must-play list needs a game that feels ambitious, tactical, and genuinely premium, Arknights Endfield absolutely belongs in it. Game of Thrones Kingsroad is the kind of mobile game that feels massive because it leans into what people actually want from this universe. Power struggles, dangerous travel, and that constant feeling that one wrong move can ruin everything. What makes it feel like a big production is the scale and the atmosphere. You're not just clicking through menus, you're moving through a world that's built to feel heavy and lived in, with iconic locations, harsh landscapes, and a tone that stays serious, gritty, and tense. The gameplay loop is where it really starts to grab you. You're building up your strength, managing progression, and stepping into conflicts where planning matters. Because in a Game of Thrones world, brute force isn't always enough. The combat aims to feel grounded and impactful, and the real hook is the long-term journey, upgrading your character, unlocking stronger tools, and pushing into tougher challenges as the stakes rise. It also taps into that ruling and surviving fantasy, building influence, dealing with threats, and making choices that feel like they have consequences, not just rewards. If you want a must-play mobile game in 2026 that delivers a serious story-driven vibe with that classic Game of Thrones tension, Kingsroad is one to keep on your radar.